Let's begin today's Vanguard news with asking yourself if Shojodoji deserves a promo card to become even better despite its consistent tops in Japan. Bushiroad meanwhile answers that question for you with the upcoming promo cards next month in Japan. For the useless reprints that fill up the pack, they reprinted Assaulter because they saw that one guy that topped a locals with Mordalion and was never seen again. Reprinted Effervescent Shadow Dreamblade because top tier Shojodoji needed the support over a Lascaria that's barely seen any play, and reprinted Wishing Your Happiness despite being released last February in the hopes of increasing DZLBT01 sales. Blessed Nobleman Pharoid, while in the drop zone, lets you pay 1 Soul Blast when a grade 3 or higher Christianus card is placed on Vanguard during your raid phase, and you do not have another copy of this card on rearguard. To call himself to rearguard and charge 1 energy if you called a card with this ability. And while on rearguard, select any number of cards in your drop zone that isn't a heal or overtrigger with different grades from each other. At the end of the battle he boosted a Severine card. Then return them to your deck if you chose 3 or more cards with this ability. But this card is put into your soul at the end of the turn you used this ability. Let it be known that Christianus, who was once laughed at for being a worse Zorga, finally got a card that lets them return a critical front or draw triggers. Direful Talquinia when placed on rearguard lets you pay 1 counterblast if you have a Direful Vanguard to add up to 1 Direful normal unit from the top 5 cards of your deck. And while on rearguard, you may have her get 10k power when she attacks while you have a grade 3 or higher Direful Vanguard, but she's bound at the end of that battle if you use this ability. Funny how Bushiroad prevented this card from adding Direful triggers, meanwhile still allowing stealth decks to be able to add their Sentinel. The one thing Direful excel at, that being using bound Direful for big shields, yet Bushiroad cucks them from reaching their full potential. Finally, Stealth Dragon Doujin when placed on rearguard lets you bind a stealth card from your soul if you have a Shojodoji Vanguard. And when he's put into your soul from rearguard during your battle phase, you can pay 2 energy to put a card from your opponent's bind zone into their drop zone. So on top of getting an easier way to set up your bind zone, it also doubles as an easy bind removal. Whoever has been designing Dragon Empire cards as of late should really try to play the game on a competitive level, since the nation has been getting too much power creep as of late. This is the equivalent of giving a thief with a knife a loaded gun. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments how you might take a break from the game until Dragon Empire decks get nerfed to the ground.